on that point, Wali, my next question to you is, um, as you talk to a lot of adults and professionals in different age groups, what are some of the key skills you see lacking, as people don't think about this as much as they should? So if you could just point out like two or three for us, in terms of, if I'm, let's say, a 22-year-old fresh graduate right now, what are the two or three skills I need to build in order to manage my personal finances better?
Yeah. So the first and foremost is the trace and track. So that is the utmost important thing. Regardless of whatever income you have, you must have the trace and track system in place, and that is very easy as well. I've made several videos about this specific thing, because I have seen, if you have the habit of spending more, until you don't recognize that, it will not improve automatically. You have to see over the long period of time. Let's say 6 months. Give yourself a 6 months period and see where your expenses are being happening. And what I do normally is maintain a Google sheet, because earlier I was doing it on the Excel sheet. Excel sheet is not, most of the time it's not accessible apart from your own computer. So Google sheet is the one which is accessible from your phone, from your, let's say, laptop, from your any device, any kind of platform you can think of, and keep it very simple. I've seen people talking about different apps. I don't use any kind of app. I just use Google sheet because it will help me export the data, and eventually I do my analysis on Excel. So for anybody who is starting to and thinking about starting to improve their finances, they should go trace and track first. Because even the smallest amount, by the way, I have talked about this earlier as well, that we should not talk about credit card as a line item in your expenses. You should not talk about as a line item. This should be as you can say that whatever expenses you're doing in credit card, that should be the line item, not the credit card. So if somebody tells me that, okay, I've got a 3000 dirhams of credit card bill, this is one thing which I cannot do anything about. First and foremost, what is the breakdown of that 4000 or 3000 dirhams that they are spending? So they should not consider 3000 dirham as a line item for credit card. So credit card so if you're starting, even 10 dirhams, or let's say $2, $3, this kind of money should also be traced and tracked. And once you do it over the long period of time, making different categories out of it, you will see where your money is going. So this is the first and foremost for anybody who is starting their journey. Secondly, if you're talking about investments, don't think about investing only in the real estate. So what I've seen, and I've experienced myself as well until last 3 4 years, that we think real estate is the only ultimate investment avenue throughout. I mean, we have seen our parents, we have seen our peers, we have seen our whoever we meet. This is the ultimate avenue for investment. So we've got a lot of opportunities in stocks. And in stocks, even if you're in a third world country, and if you're living in a country like, let's say, Pakistan, where we have a issue of devaluation and whatnot. But the problem is, if you don't if you, and eventually if you leave for a better country and you don't have that experience back home in Pakistan, let's say, then you won't be able to understand the wider picture once you go, let's say, and invest in the US stock. So the first, I think, without going into properties, you should go into the stocks and start small. Like, start, let's say, $10, $100, whatever your fun money is, for the beginning, for the, let's say, for initial 6 months. And then once you start recognizing what how market works, and 6 months is a very small time that you can understand how the stock market works, but still you have a lot of understanding. You have a lot of understanding for the terminologies as well. Don't go big, go small, and keep on investing small amount. I don't want to go into technical things here, but the stock market should be the one where should be the place where you should be investing your most of the money. Not most of the money, but you should be taking most of your experience of investing. It should be coming from your the investing in the stock market. So these two things are very important: trace and track, and thinking outside the real estate market for the investment. There are other things as well. Of course, you have to utilize your own time properly. You should not waste your time. You should not be watching Netflix all the time, because watching Netflix not only drains your money, apart from that, it drains your time. And time is actually the most important thing that we all miss sometime when we are talking about wealth. So time is basically the wealth. And yeah, that's about it. If you do these three basic things, I'm sure your financial health will be much better.